start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, help each other as long as it gives benefits to both parties. What does both parties mean? Both parties means the local workers and the foreign companies. Well, first off, we have to fulfill a minimum quota of hiring local workers first as developing countries for foreign companies operating in its territory. Well, why this motion is exists, and I'm gonna tell you the problem from this motion. First, developing countries need to upgrade their income by inviting or allowing foreign company, but then they still get benefit from the company. And then, from this case, it could emerge another problem, and it's about foreign company only take benefits from the country, but without giving benefit to the country itself. It's a party system because what? Because it's just giving benefit to one party, not to both parties. So it's not fair. So from this case, for example, Freeport, it's located in Papua, Indonesia. It's a gold mining, and do you know that the Freeport itself is owned by foreign companies? Half of the stock of the Freeport company is owned by foreign countries. So it could as we can see the news also in the television how controversy the Freeport also because it could emerge the argue between the foreign country itself and also the society or even the government of Indonesia. That's why it could emerge the controversy. And then from both problems it could emerge. That's why this motion is exists. It's about minimum quota of local workers. Why? Because and now I'm gonna elaborate let's moving on to my argument. I'm gonna elaborate this problem to my argument. Well, first, the benefit for companies. It's about local people. Why? Why local people? Because they are more understand well about the country, about the culture, or anything that they need. They easier to adaptation with the environment of Indonesia. Because what? Because for example, Indonesia, if a foreign country work in a company in Indonesia, they don't know well about the country. They don't know well about the culture. So it's one of the disadvantage. That's why the local people must be exist, and they could get a job in the foreign country. That's why. And then for example, and then the next is about the language. Why the language? Because as we know, communication is number one. Without communication, we can't do anything, or we cannot get the information. Because as we know, in every country in the world, especially, there are a lot of countries, and also every country has their own language. That's why communication is number one. And for example, in Indonesia, if for example, a foreign country, Indonesia, the leader of the foreign country also have some business with local leaders or even the government to ask permission, for example. So they need to communicate. They need to talk to each other to get their objective, to achieve their objective. That's why communication is number one. That's why from this motion, the language is giving benefit for the company also because of the local people. And then the next is about cheap. What does cheap mean? Cheap, it's about, as we know, the average income in Indonesia is lower than developed country in a foreign country, especially in the Europe, for example. It's lower than them. Because so from this case, it could give a more benefit to the foreign company itself. Because what? Because they just need to pay the income for the local people with the standard income in Indonesia. So that's why they could use their extra money to build up their company to get so that the company could get better. That's why, because from this case also, the foreign company doesn't need to provide the housing, the transport for foreign worker itself, because the local people is cheaper and they don't need to do such things. And then the benefit and other benefits from to the company itself is about it could help foreign companies in developing their companies. Why I say that? First, it's about the permission. If the permission is run well, so that the company itself could develop their company is better, because automatically, if the permission is run well, so they could do what they want. First, I mean, not that huge, but then they just more easy to develop their own companies. And also the next, let's moving on to my argument why this motion is sexist. First is decreased jobless, because as we know, in Indonesia there are a lot of people, like almost 270 million society in Indonesia. That's why if the local people could get a job in a foreign country, that means it could help the country even, because they could get a job. And for example, in IKEA in Indonesia, IKEA is from a foreign company, but then the worker of the IKEA itself is almost all of them are local workers, Indonesian workers. That's why it could decrease the jobless. And then the next, let's moving on. Why this motion is sexist? Because it improves the human resources quality. Because as we know, the average of the skill from foreign country, especially developed country, is higher than Indonesia. That's why even so, if people wanted to get a job in a foreign country, they have to get a better skill, to more talented. But then, even if they don't work at foreign company, they could get better quality of the human resources quality itself, and then it could help the country itself. That's all from me. Thank you.